On this Friday edition of the Gardener's Corner program. My name is Rob Hall. We appreciate you tuning in to WKRX 96.7 FM. Well, Carl, here we are on the road again.
Yeah.
Just can't wait to get on the road again. We're live at Sandling Golf Cars, 613 Lewis Street in Oxford. A few weeks back, we was at T.G. Brooks Company, who is one of our fine supporting sponsors of the Gardener's Corner program, along with Sandling Golf Cars, and we're glad to be here. And so just want to let you know that if you have a gardening question today, you can call 919-693-4626. That's the telephone number here to Sandling Golf Cars, and you can just kind of relay what your question is, and we will do our best to get you an answer. Again, this is 919-693-4626. Without further ado, if you would please make welcome, all the way from the North Carolina Cooperative Extension Service, a man that gets up and is glad to see the day, whether it's rain, sleet, snowing, or hot as Hades, Mr. Carl Cantalupi.
Good morning, Rob.
Good morning to you, Carl. And it's kind of nice that we get to sometimes take a break from the studio and get out and visit with some of our friends and customers and kind of take the show on the road.
It's a nice change here.
It really is.
Nice and cool, too.
Well, yes, it's very comfortable. You know, a few weeks ago when we were at T.G. Brooks Company, you and I both walked away with good suntans.
Yeah, we're broiling, yeah.
But hopefully we can get back up to T.G. Brooks later on this fall, and we're just glad to be here at Sandling Golf Cars. And again, we are live on the radio, and we're actually filming this to be played back on TV tomorrow morning. So be sure to check that out, the Gardener's Corner program at 8 o'clock on Saturday morning on TV Channel 10, located on Charter Communications Channel 191. Well, Carl, I hope you had a good 4th of July holiday.
Yes, I did. Hope you did too.
I did, and I understand that you made your way up to Natural Bridge.
Natural Bridge. Never been there before, but it was a nice place to visit, and I got to see the very tall bridge that actually George Washington surveyed back in around 1750 or so.
Wow. And
he's got his initials carved up 23 feet up as he scaled the bridge.
Well, glad that you had a good time, and hope that everybody had a real nice 4th of July holiday. And I'm sure it's a lot of people on vacation still this week. But, you know, Carl, here it is. It is extremely hot.
It is.
And we've had temperatures in the 90s. And with temperatures like this being this hot, it can really be tough on any kind of vegetation.
It is. And when we talk about vegetables, if we haven't seen it yet, we certainly will be seeing the effects of temperature extremes on tomatoes. Consistent temperatures over 85 to 90 degrees will cause the tomato flowers to abort. So you won't get fruit set. Also, at temperatures above 90, the red pigment or lycopene fails to form in the tomato, and it gives rise to yellow pigment coming out. This is called solar yellowing, or yellow shoulders on the top sides of the tomato fruit. So if you see kind of a yellowish ring around the stem of the top part of the tomato, that's solar yellowing. And doesn't hurt the tomato, it just makes them look funny, but they're perfectly safe to eat. Also, stink bugs are out in full force on tomatoes. A lot of calls this week with people, saying that they've had stink bug damage on the tomato, and when you look at it, stink bugs, when they feed on the fruit, they suck some of the sap out of the fruit, but they also inject a toxin which causes a white, rough, bumpy appearance just under the skin. So if you peel the tomato, you'll see that white, bumpy part. You can eat that, but it's not real appetizing. It won't hurt you. But the problem with stink bug control is that stink bugs are very quick. They'll go to a tomato plant, puncture a fruit, and then away they go. So usually you don't see them on the fruits. You can use insecticides such as malathion, but again, if the insects aren't there, it's not going to do much good.
Well, Carl, it's a good thing that you mentioned, that. So pretty much, if you do have some tomatoes that the stink bugs have kind of more or less bitten or whatever, you can just kind of slice away the bad, and the rest of the tomato is fine. But Carl, now, as far as it being as hot as it is, I know you have said many, many times that it's not a good idea to spray herbicides when it's, over 85 degrees.
Or even insecticides and fungicides on plants as well.
Well, that was going to be my question, because of where you're thinking you maybe would be doing some good, you could actually be causing harm, correct?
Right. Well, you get leaf scorch, which in and of itself won't actually cause the plants to die, but it'll really scorch the leaves and I guess put stress on the plant. So
with these extreme temperatures that we're having, if you're doing any spraying, it should be done early morning, preferably, because so then the spray mixture can dry throughout the day and not leave the leaves remain wet, during night. Okay. If you folks are just by chance joining us here on the Gardeners Corner program, we have kind of taken the show on the road today, and we're actually down in Granville County in Oxford at Sandling Golf Cars, and we're going to be talking with some of the friendly people here at Sandling Golf Cars coming up in just a few minutes to find out a little bit of information about what they offer here. They've been doing business with the radio station quite a few years now, and pretty much if you're in need of items from a golf cart to a grill or utility trailer, it can be found right here in Oxford. Carl, with it being right here, not quite the middle of July just yet, still plenty of time to plant warm season vegetables?
Yeah, especially pumpkins. Now is the ideal time to plant pumpkins from seed, because you're looking at 100 days or more pumpkins to mature, and that'll bring you right up into Halloween. So now's the time to sow pumpkin seeds. If you've sown them before, just be aware that usually what happens is that the vines start to break down early due to fungus diseases. So you really have to be spraying to control fungus diseases on pumpkins, so that the vines don't break down. Once they break down, the fruit is exposed to the sun, they get sun scalded, and that's the end of them.
Well, Carl, I'm glad that you made the point that it is a good time to start planting pumpkin seeds, because you know, having a pumpkin, say, in August is pretty much a lost cause, so to speak.
Yeah.
You know, everybody wants them, you know, starting, you know, around, you know, the 1st of October on through Halloween and things like that. So it takes about 100 days, you say,
Right.
when planting from a seed.
That's right.
Now, Carl, as you have said many times, and I'm kind of one that is kind of hard to more or less get this in my mind. A lot of times when you start seeing signs of more or less fungus or disease or maybe the lack of water, in many cases, it's a little too late at that time.
It is. That's why you have to go out and practice constant vigil. You've got to go out every day and see what's happening in the garden.
Well, now talking about spraying fungicides on pumpkins, would it be the same kind of fungicide that you would use, say, on pear and peach and apple trees?
Some are similar. Basically, to control fungus diseases on vine crops, cantaloupe, cucumber, watermelon, and squash, there are, you know, some of the labels do, fungicide labels do have vegetables on them, especially ones that can control powdery mildew and downy mildew. And let's see, Nova comes to mind to control powdery mildew, and I'm trying to think of what the active ingredient is, but there are a lot of fungicides to choose from to control the leaf spot fungus diseases of pumpkin, and the main ones that we have to control are powdery mildew and downy mildew.
Well, some very useful tips. Now, Carl, I know that through the North Carolina Cooperative Extension Service, you all have a ton of information that is free for the asking to residents of North Carolina. All they have to do is contact their local Cooperative Extension Service office and let them know what they're wanting information on, and you all will provide them with that information. As far as a booklet or publication on fungicides, do y'all offer something like that?
Yeah, we have controlling vegetable diseases in the home garden, and it goes over the different vegetables and the fungicides that you can use for it. So just ask for that publication, controlling vegetable diseases in the home garden.
For those of you folks that are listening in Roxborough-Person County, you can call your local Cooperative Extension Service office at 336-599-1195. The folks in the Granville County area, you can call 919-603-1350.
Right.
And they can either email these publications to you or they can send them to you by U.S. mail. Now, you folks up in Castle County and Durham County, I'm not real sure the telephone number to those offices, but yes, the Cooperative Extension Service are people that has plenty of knowledge, and all you have to do is ask, and they will gladly help you out on whatever it may be that you have a problem on. Carl, received the letter that you sent out about your asparagus twilight meeting.
Okay.
That's
yeah.
a little bit less than 1 month away.
That's right. Thursday, August the 6th, I believe. I think that's right.
I think that's correct.
At 6 o'clock at where the trial plots are located, 980 Flem Clayton Road, off of NC 57. And we'll take a look at the variety trial results as we do each year. And the exciting thing about this year's field day is that we've got some really good information to show people, and we can show them yield-wise how good it was. Being that last year I stepped up my fungicide spray program, so that really benefited in this year's yield. we actually saw yield increases in most of all the varieties as compared to yield decreases the last 2 years. So.
Well, now you're also going to be talking about something other than asparagus that night as well, too,
right.
Correct?
When rhubarb as well, we can show the rhubarb transplants that will be planted at that point, and go over yield data as far as that is concerned too. Looking at rhubarb planted as an annual crop, and setting them out as 10-week-old transplants in July and August to see what type of yield they have during the following year.
Okay. All righty. We're going to take a break, and we're going to get a word on for T.G. Brooks Company, and we are broadcasting live here on the Gardener's Corner program today from Sandling Golf Cars in Oxford. But we'll get a word on for T.G. Brooks Company, and we'll be back with more Gardener's Corner program coming up right after these messages.
This month of July, two things are important to a lot of us here in Person County. Number one is getting those delicious vegetables and pickles put up for the winter, whether you grew them or bought them at one of the two farmers markets. T.G. Brooks Company has all your canning jars in half pints, quarts, half gallons, and they have the pressure cookers, bath canners, strainers, funnels, in fact, all of your canning supplies. They offer the stone jars for pickling, too. The second thing is keeping everything green, and T.G. Brooks Company can handle all kinds of watering needs. First of all, they have sprinklers, water hose, sprayers, and water hose parts. They have irrigating equipment. T.G. Brooks Company has your piping for irrigating. They have gas-powered pumps. Keep everything green and keep that vegetable harvest coming in strong. Also, it's time to beautify your property while you're out of doors. They offer so many kinds of mulch in bulk form or bagged. You can get your mulch by the large scoop. They have delivery service available too. Bring your truck, trailer, and they'll load it up for you. When it comes to yard tools to do the work, they have your hose, diggers, choppers, and yard tools, everything you need to beautify. By the way, T.G. Brooks reminds everyone that they have dog fences and dog food by the bag. Be sure to enjoy the day with your family by ending the day and a delicious hand-cut ribeye steak sold and cut to your width and cook it up on the grill. T.G. Brooks Company has served the farmer, homeowner, and landscaper in the area since 1936.
Here we are back on the Gardener's Corner program. We're broadcasting live from Sandling Golf Cars, 613 Lewis Street in Oxford. At this time, I would like to offer the condolences of the staff here at WKRX to the Brooks family. Mr. Harold Thomas Brooks passed away on July 4th, and services was held for him this past Monday, July the 6th. He was the proprietor of T.G. Brooks Company, and his two children, Bill and Roy, are the ones that actually manage the store now. They've been sponsors of the Gardener's Corner program a great long time, and matter of fact, when we were out at T.G. Brooks Company several weeks ago doing the Gardener's Corner program, Mr. Brooks was out riding around on the golf cart, and it was good to see him out, but we were saddened to hear about his passing. But Bill and Roy and all the family, just want to let you know that you all are in our thoughts and prayers, and again, we were saddened to hear about the passing of Mr. Harold Thomas Brooks. Here with me right now is Miss Hillary Sandling of Sandling Golf Cars. Hillary is a part of the family here at Sandling Golf Cars, and she's been a big part of this business. Hillary, just a little bit of background about Sandling Golf Cars. You all used to be a Chevrolet dealer here.
We were a Chevrolet dealer. We were a Chevrolet dealer here for 23 years, and we sold in 2008 and started the golf car dealership full time, and we sell trailers as well.
Well, I remember years ago when you all were a Chevrolet dealer, and y'all kind of made the transition from selling Chevrolet to golf cars.
That's right, we sure did.
And I think y'all have made a really, really big impact on this area of North Carolina. And I, for one, have a golf cart and thoroughly love it and enjoy it. And, you know, the golf cars are somewhat considered a luxury item, but, you know, Hillary, people can use them for so many different things, whether they're out for a little joyride, working in the lawn, working in the garden. They are really nice to have.
People use them at the farms. A lot of people use them at the farms and the lake. We have a lot of lake customers, and a lot of people from Roxborough come all the way down here.
Well, you know what? When you sell a good product, people will come from near and far to shop with you.
That's right.
Along with Club Car and Easy Go golf cars, you also have a huge selection of utility trailers.
We do. We sell utility trailers, enclosed trailers, dump trailers, and stock trailers.
Well, now, Hillary, for some of the folks that maybe has never taken time to come down and just kind of ride through the lot to see what's available, I think they would be quite surprised with the selection that you have.
I think so too.
You know, we were talking a little bit before the show. Right over here to our left is a real nice selection of wheels and tires for golf cars. And I was telling Mr. Carl Cantalupe, I said, Carl, I said, with the golf cars, I said, you can get one like you would a vehicle. You can get a plain Jane, or you can get a Cadillac, a fully customized car. You can get lift kits on them, lights, radios, just the sky's the limit pretty much.
That's right.
And you all offer a full range, all different price ranges of carts. You can handle parts,
Yes.
services, repairs, also
Pickup and delivery.
and Trojan batteries.
Yes.
And, you know, a lot of people, you know, say, well, I can get this battery for this price, and those Trojan batteries are expensive. Trust me when I say you get what you pay for. If you have an electric golf cart and you have been using batteries other than Trojan batteries, go ahead and spend a little bit of extra money, because those Trojan batteries will more than pay for themselves in
You should get
the
5
long
to
term.
6 years of good life out of those batteries.
And you know, it's one of those things that you need to keep your battery cables tightened,
That's
and you
right.
need to check
Make
your
sure
water
you have
level.
water in your batteries.
Yeah.
That's exactly right.
Well, now, Hillary, if somebody's looking at a utility trailer, whether they needed a tow dolly, an open body trailer, a dump trailer, an enclosed trailer, a stock trailer, or an equipment trailer that would handle 20,000 pounds,
Yes.
where could they come to find it?
Right here.
At Sandling Golf Cars.
That's right.
But a huge selection. And coming up at the end of the program, for those people that will be watching on TV, Channel 10, we're going to have kind of a virtual tour of the things that they have here at Sandling Golf Cars. Hillary, as far as financing goes, what can you offer on that?
We have several options with finance companies. Sheffield Financial, which is BB&T, and we also have Springleaf Financial. So if you think maybe I can't get a 0% interest rate, we can get you covered.
So you can handle it
Yes,
from
sir.
start
We
to
can-
finish.
Yes, that's exactly right.
Well, now, one other thing. We talked about the golf cars. We talked about the trailers, talked about the parts and service. And you got a great service team
Yes,
here.
we sure do.
And quick turnaround on
Yes.
repairs. One thing we have not mentioned, and that is the Wilmington Grill.
Yes, the Wilmington Grill.
You know, I was telling Carl and them, you know, we purchased a Wilmington Grill from you all a few months back, and
Miss Martha's really happy about that.
yeah,
too.
she is. You know, a lot of the guys do the grilling out now. Whenever we have steaks or hamburgers or anything, my mother
Is out there cooking.
is the
on the
one
grill.
cooking on the grill, and she really likes the Wilmington Grill. It'll get up to 500 degrees in the blink of an eye. It's made out of stainless. It's a nice looking grill, and it cooks very well. And so whether you're interested in that Wilmington grill, you need to come by and check it out. A utility trailer, a golf cart. Just take some time to ride around the lot, get out and kick a few tires,
Yes,
and
please
meet
do.
some of the friendly staff here at Sandling Golf Cart. Speaking of the friendly staff, along with Hillary, who else greets customers when they come in?
My brother Will and my dad Al. It's family owned and operated, so one of the three is always here every single day, except for Sunday.
Well, and your business hours are 8
To
to
5:30
5:30,
Monday through Friday, and 9 to 1 on Saturday.
and sometimes special appointments
Yes,
if
we sure will.
necessary.
We'll meet you up here.
Now, as far as the guys in the shop, they can pretty much work on any make, brand, or model of golf
That's
cart. You have availability of parts for just
Yes,
about
just
any
about
name
anything
brand.
that you have.
Now, it's Bradley, Dennis, and Junior that works in the shop. Is that
Yeah,
correct?
that's correct.
And they're nice guys,
Yes.
and they do good work. And talking about Carl one step farther with the golf carts, something that is pretty interesting. They can do customized colors. So if you come down and you see a cart that you like, but you would like a different color, you tell them what color they want,
And we can get it made for
and they'll
you.
get it done for you. They sure will. Well, Hillary, on behalf of the radio station, appreciate all the
Thank
business that you all do for us, and we certainly hope that we have done you all some good, and we hope to continue this relationship
Yes.
for many years to come. But and thanks for letting us come down
Absolutely.
and enjoying
I
some
tried
of
to
the.
keep the air on 60 for you when you got in.
Well,
so
it
you'd be
feels
nice and cool.
it feels really good, and I had told you, Dad, earlier. Carl had actually brought some Gatorade, and he said, "Rob," he said, "I thought we were going to be outside today,"
And you're like, thank you, we're not.
and I told him, I said, "Well, Carl," I said, "if we had to be outside today," I said, "I don't know if we would have got it done today or not." So, but thank you for being
Thank you for having us.
very nice, very friendly. And not only are you friendly to us, you'll be friendly to anybody
Yes,
that comes stand. So
absolutely.
y'all come see Hillary Sandling, her brother Will, and her dad Al here at Sandling Golf Cart, 613 Lewis Street in Oxford. And again, thanks. Appreciate what you do.
Thank you for having
All
us.
righty. We're going to get back into the Gardener's Corner program a little bit right now. And for those of you that are maybe just tuned in, we are broadcasting live from Oxford today at Sandling Golf Cars.
I was thinking of leading in, if we have the time, to talk a little bit about seedless watermelons.
Okay.
Being that people now, you see them in the stores now, they're available all over the place. And summertime makes all of us watermelon lovers. A ripe, cold watermelon is hard to eat on a hot, sticky August day, even though eating it with grace and dignity requires relaxing a few of Emily Post's most cherished rules. Most watermelon is eaten outside, where the juice on your chin and the whiz of black seeds past your ear can be ignored. But in an attempt to housebreak the regular watermelon, breeders now offer seedless ones. Of course, watermelon, Citrus linatus, is a member of the cucumber family that originated from the warm climates of tropical Africa. They've been popular as a summer garden fare since the time of the Egyptians. The origin was thought to be China until the 1860s, when explorer David Livingstone found them growing wild in Central Africa. Incidentally, that's where the phrase comes, Dr. Livingstone, I presume, from him. That's where that comes from, as he traveled in Africa and other countries. Over 1,200 kinds of watermelons are grown commercially, ranging from the 200-pound ones grown in Hope, Arkansas, to the volleyball-sized icebox melons popular with apartment dwellers. And this is not a modern-day chicken and egg story. We know that the seedless watermelon vine must come from a seed. But watermelons produced on these vines are barren, with little more than the trace of a seed coat. So how can this be? Well, the system for producing seedless watermelons was developed by Professor H. Kihara, a Japanese scientist at Kyoto University who described his work in 1951. Kihara used the new technology of his day, chromosome doubling using colchicine, to increase the number of chromosomes from 11 to 22 in one of his watermelon lines. Chromosome doubling occurs occasionally in nature, but chemicals such as colchicine greatly increase the odds of it happening. Plants with a normal complement of chromosomes are referred to as diploids, while those with double the number of chromosomes are called tetraploids. Kihara discovered that if the female line was a tetraploid, 4x, and it was pollinated by a normal diploid, which is 2x, viable triploid or 3x seeds would be produced. These triploid seeds produce more or less normal vines and flowers, but therein lies another problem. Most plants will abort fruit that does not contain seeds, so some way had to be found to keep the watermelons on the vine. This turned out to be relatively easy. By planting about a quarter of the patch in normal diploid watermelons, it was found that the fruit would form even though it lacked seeds. The pollen grains provided enough hormone to prevent the fruit from aborting. And Vic Watts, the former department head of the University of Arkansas Horticulture Department, worked in the late 1950s on further refining the technique. But like many new technologies, seedless watermelons were slow to catch the attention of growers and consumers. Seed set for the hybrid lines is usually low, often averaging only about 10% of what a normal seeded variety produces. This means that seedless watermelon seed tends to be 5 to 8 times more expensive than conventional seed. It was not until about 1990 that the seedless watermelons began to gain popularity, and today half the watermelons grown in California are seedless. The average seedless melon is in the 8 to 12 pound range, and most seeded melons typically weigh in at 35 to 40 pounds. A watermelon contains around 12% sugar when ripe. Because sugar accumulation stops as soon as the melon is picked, being able to judge full ripeness is an art that all good watermelon thieves learn at an early age. Most seed companies offer seedless watermelons for the customers. Because seed germination is slow, seedless watermelons are usually grown from transplants. Soil temperature of 85 degrees is required to assure good germination, and once the plants are established, seedless watermelons are grown like conventional kinds. A warm, deep, fertile, sandy soil is best for watermelon production. This was written by Dr. Gerald Klingeman, who is retired extension horticulturist of the University of Arkansas. So I thought that was kind of interesting.
It is in that, and Carl, while you were talking about watermelon, the seedless varieties and things like that, I guess it's been within the last month. You know, we carry a program weekday mornings at the station called the Old Farmer's Almanac Radio Report, and like I say, within the last month or so, it was talking about roasting watermelon seed.
Okay.
To where, you know, some people will roast pumpkin seeds.
Pumpkin and sunflower.
And sunflower. And then, you know, you kind of, you know, open the hull up and you eat the inside.
Right.
And the same thing can be done with watermelon seeds. I've never, you know, tried them before, but I have ate more than my share of watermelon seeds, because when I eat watermelon, I'm sure I don't discard all of the seeds.
That's right.
The way that I should, but I love watermelon. And you're right, this time of the year, when it's hot, especially if you've got one that you've had in the refrigerator and cooled it off, it's a really tasty treat for sure.
And seedless ones have really taken over the marketplace now.
Well, now, Carl, a question about squash for you. I had someone to ask me this question, and I told them that I would relay this question along to you. And this was last week sometimes, and you know, we had pre-recorded the show for last week because of the 4th of July holiday, but they were saying that on their squash vines and plants, that the little squash would maybe get not even a couple of inches long, and it would start to turn brown.
Right.
Now, I know from some of the slides that you have had in the past, to where it would show some very early, you know, getting like mold and maybe like a fungus on them, and you have said just pick them off and discard them.
Right.
For the squash that are maybe turning brown, what could be the cause of this?
Just lack of pollination, probably.
Okay, pollination.
Yeah.
And speaking of pollination, I know that you had said within the last couple of weeks that a telltale sign of poor pollination in cucumbers is the cucumber being kind of oddly shaped,
Right.
and not filled out at one end.
Yeah, that's called bottlenecking.
Bottlenecking. Okay.
And the stem end of the cucumber is real narrow, and the other side of the cucumber, it has normal shape. So if you cut open the cucumber lengthwise, you'll see a full complement of seeds present in the broad end of the cucumber, and the narrow constricted end you will see very little seeds formed. So that's just incomplete pollination.
Well, Carl, we've talked about this a lot of times on the program about how vital the honeybee is to a vegetable gardener.
That's
or
right.
any body that raises fruit. They play a really big, important part in pollination, and that is one of the biggest reasons that whenever we talk about using 7, that when at all possible, use a water-soluble 7, because it is not per se as hard on beehives as the 7 dust.
Yep.
Because as Carl has said, what happens is if a bee from a hive should go to a plant that has 7 dust on it, they can get this 7 dust on their body and take it back to the hive and pretty much affect the whole hive of bees. So we do realize in some cases you may not be able to use water-soluble 7, but anytime that you can, please use a water-soluble 7 and not the dust, because, as I say, bees are very, very important to pollination. So let's get a word on for Sandling golf cars, and we'll come back and we'll talk about a few other things that's going on, and maybe talk about some ice cream or something.
All right.
We'll be back right after this message from Sandling Golf Cars.
Let's make a trip to Oxford and stop in at 613 Lewis Street, and we will be at Sandling Golf Cars. That's the place where you can find club car and easy-go golf cars. Sandling Golf Cars has new and pre-owned golf cars. If you are wanting a gasoline, an electric, basic to fully customized golf car, see Al, Hillary, or Will at Sandling Golf Cars, where financing is available. Call 919-693-4626 or toll free 1-800-221-9267. Visit their website www.sandlinggolfcars.com. Check out the XRTs by Club Car, powered by a gasoline or diesel engine. These rugged, durable, and dependable machines are strong enough to handle anything around the farm, home, or lake. For all of your golf car repairs, parts, service, and Trojan batteries, see Bradley, Dennis, and Jr. It's grilling season, and you would enjoy grilling out on a Wilmington grill from Sandling Golf Cars. Call 919-693-4626 or toll free 1-800-221-9267. Log on to sandlinggolfcars.com, or better yet, stop in at 613 Lewis Street in Oxford, just off the bypass, and see the friendly folks at Sandling Golf Cars. Open weekdays 8 a.m. until 5:30 p.m. and Saturdays 9 a.m. until 1 p.m. That's Sandling Golf Cars, where you can also find the trailer you need to haul just about anything you need hauled.
Here we are back on the Gardener's Corner program. We're broadcasting live from Sandling Golf Cars, and we decided to put this show on the road. Mr. Carl Cantalupi of the North Carolina Cooperative Extension Service our resident expert. And anyway, we're just glad to be here. And Carl, I think you said you wanted to talk about a special activity going on tomorrow at the Person County Farmers Market.
That's right. Tomorrow they're having a ice cream social. They're having an ice cream fundraiser. On Saturday, donations made will be to fund market activities, and the ice cream will be in a variety of colorful flavors, all made by the vendors. So come on out and enjoy ice cream while you visit the produce vendors as well.
Well, Carl, it seems to me that at the Person County Farmers Market, when they have done this ice cream social in the past, they don't have just your typical flavors of ice cream. They have some pretty extravagant concoctions of flavors of ice cream. So it'd be a good time to go by and sample some of the ice cream flavors that maybe you've never had before.
That's right. That's right.
Always got tasty treats, fresh vegetables,
Meats.
Yes.
Eggs, baked goods, just a few of the things: squash, cucumbers, cabbage, tomatoes. Let's see, what else? Flowers, and let's see, all natural insect repellent, healing salve, sugar scrubs, and more all natural herbal health and body care products. So that's just a few of the things that they'll have at the Person County Farmers Market.
And the hours are Saturday 8 until noon, Wednesday afternoons 3 until 6. That's the Person County Farmers Market. And now to make mention of the Roxborough Farmers Market on Depot Street. They're typically there Monday through Saturday mornings. So anytime that you can shop local, please do so, and you'll be glad that you did in the long run. Carl, I hadn't had much problems with them, but I know that a lot of people have had problems with the aggravating ticks.
Ticks, right. And this is timely because now people are experiencing tick bites. So here's some information from one of our extension entomologists that I quote frequently at NC State, Dr. Mike Walvogel. And he says, most of you have probably heard that when most people think of ticks and tick-borne diseases, they focus their attention on Lyme disease, which is actually more prevalent in the northern states, but certainly is on the rise in North Carolina and can have severely debilitating effects if not diagnosed promptly. However, the Centers for Disease Control in 2013 confirmed that the death of a 6-year-old Buncombe County child was due to Rocky Mountain spotted fever. And some statistics here. In 2012, they had 584 cases of Rocky Mountain spotted fever, with a peak occurring in June and July in North Carolina. And the American dog tick is the primary transmitter of Rocky Mountain spotted fever. The black-legged tick is the primary vector of Lyme disease. Many people want to try to outdoor chemical treatments. They need to bear in mind that tick management requires a thorough application of the chemical. Unlike with mosquitoes, where the goal is to treat the foliage where the mosquitoes are resting, ticks are often down on the soil itself, and so the chemical application needs to cover the soil. With that in mind, your best options are going to be a garden hose sprayer attachment or a granular insecticide. Point number 2 to keep in mind is you may control the tick population in the treated areas of your yard, but this does nothing to address the ticks in the weedy overgrown areas that remain untreated. Here's some good practices for protecting yourself from ticks. If you want to go on a hike, stick to the open paths. If you feel the need to be adventuresome and head into the surrounding brush, you may subsequently feel some adventuresome ticks on you as well. Whether you're outdoors for work or recreation, keeping ticks off of you is important. Wear light-colored clothing to make it easier to spot ticks, making the ascent up your leg, and preferably wear long pants and tuck the pant legs into your socks. Whether you wear shorts or long pants, apply a repellent to your socks and pants, or in the case of shorts, only to the exposed parts of your skin. Check yourself and children carefully after working or playing outdoors. If you do find a tick that's feeding on you, remove it carefully with a pair of tweezers. If possible, keep the tick for identification. Put it in a jar of rubbing alcohol. Mark the date of the tick bite on your calendar as well. Just because you find a tick on you, it doesn't mean it's been feeding, particularly if it's still wandering around. Ticks attach their heads to your skin with a type of cement, and then the feast begins. Also, just because the tick is identified as the American dog tick or the black-legged tick does not mean that it is actually infected with Rocky Mountain spotted fever or Lyme disease. People may rush to their doctor to get a blood test done. However, at this early stage, a blood test isn't helpful because the tests rely on detecting antibodies that develop in response to the pathogen, and it can take several weeks for the antibody levels to reach detectable numbers. Also, some healthy people who have been exposed to Rocky Mountain spotted fever may already have detectable levels. For that reason, blood tests are usually done twice a few weeks apart to look for a significant rise in antibody levels, indicating a likely infection rather than just a previous exposure. Remember that 20% or more of the people infected with Lyme disease pathogen do not develop the classic bullseye rash that they just saw after doing a Google search. The Centers for Disease Control also report that 10% of people infected with Rocky Mountain spotted fever do not develop the characteristic rash that we read about. And of course, rashes on children or adults can have many other non-disease causes. The best approach is to circle the date of the tick encounter on the calendar, and if you develop flu-like symptoms, severe headaches, or joint pain within the next 3 to 14 days, contact your physician immediately and mention the tick incident. Most doctors will take the cautious route and provide antibiotics, which when taken early on, usually take care of the problem. So that's some helpful information, hopefully, on ticks, and hopefully will clear up some of the misconceptions.
Well, now, Carl, I've heard people say that if you eat a lot of garlic or take garlic pills, that will keep ticks away. But I do know that if you eat a lot of garlic, it will not only keep ticks away, it'll keep people away too.
That's right. Yeah, I wouldn't bet my life on it with the ticks.
Hey, Will, come on over just a minute. We're going to talk to Will Sandling, one of the family members here at Sandling Golf Cars. We've got just a few more minutes, and we're going to speak to Will. He's coming in from maybe making a delivery. Good morning, Will. How you doing?
Good morning, Rob. How you doing today?
Good. Everybody, this is Will Sandling of Sandling Golf Cars. Will, appreciate y'all having us, Dan. And,
oh, yes, sir. Our pleasure.
And thank y'all for what y'all do for us at the radio station. Yes, and now, Will, not only do you wear the hat of a salesperson here, you are in charge of pretty much his shop and ordering parts and things, correct?
Deliveries and a little bit of everything.
So whatever comes up,
we try to get the job done.
And so I guess when you come to work, pretty much you never know what to expect that day.
It's always interesting.
Well, now, within the last few months, you have added another thing to your business card, and that is a dad. You became a dad.
Yep.
How's Crawford doing?
Crawford's good. He's growing.
Allie doing well, I hope.
Everybody's great.
Well, good. So I'm glad that things are going well. And anyway, just come on down. Will is a country guy. He's a nice guy. He's a straight shooter. He don't put on an air for anybody. If you see Will here at the dealership, or if you see him at the race or the turkey shoot, Will Sandling is going to be himself. So when you come down, that's the way that he is all the time. He's not going to fill you full of a bunch of hot air or anything. He's going to shoot you a straight deal, and you'll be glad that you done business with him here at Sandling Golf Cars. Will, we talked to Hillary a little bit earlier about, the trailers, the golf carts and things. But one thing I did not ask her, go kind of put you on the spot, how many carts would you say y'all have on the lot now?
I say we got anywhere between 90 to 110 on the lot.
90 to 110. Wow.
Another 20 coming hopefully in the week.
And you know something else we didn't talk about with Hillary. Also, y'all carry the Club Car XRT.
Yes, carry the Club Car XRTs. Real nice farm edition utility vehicle. Pretty much get any job around the farm need to be done.
So just come on to see them at Sandling Golf Cars. Appreciate you taking a few minutes of time to talk with us, Will.
Sure, Ron.
That's going to about wrap it up. On behalf of Mr. Carl Cantalupi of the
Thank
North
you, Rob.
Carolina Cooperative Extension Service.
A lot of fun.
Mr. David Bratcher, the GM of Radio Roxborough. His son, David Jr., who is our camera operator. He wears hats of many different shapes and sizes. Appreciate what he does. And thanks also goes out to our viewers and listeners of the Gardener's Corner program. I made mention of this a little bit earlier, but for those of you that are maybe watching the program on TV, and those of you that are listening on the radio, if you have the opportunity to check out the Gardener's Corner program on TV Channel 10 on Saturday morning, hang on around, and we're going to have a virtual tour of some of the things that they have for sale here at Sandling Golf Cars, 613 Lewis Street in Oxford, who is one of our sponsors of the Gardener's Corner program, along with T.G. Brooks Company. With that, we're going to wish you and yours a happy and safe weekend, and thanks for tuning in to this edition of the Gardener's Corner program, live from Sandling Golf Cars in Oxford.